Top down morning, ladies. My name is Chess, and welcome to the What If Killer Croc Was in My Hero Academia. So, I know that it's a Batman villain, but I'm making the alternate one, where it's like combined of Killer Croc with the lizard with or Dr. Lizard that I like to call him. So yeah. And that's what he looks like. And I know that I'm gonna look something up. I looked it up and it makes sense, actually. I'm putting him as because I know that Frog Girl's quirk is basically a frog, and frogs are like amphibians. They're basically like reptiles, I think. But don't quote me on it. And I'll be right back. Well, yeah. But to me, frogs are just like reptilian types. But don't quote me on that. And I looked it up. So, yeah. So I'm putting... And this is just a what if, so it doesn't make any sense to anyone that every time I make one. So this is just for fun of it. Okay? So, yeah. Just to give you a heads up. All these what ifs that I mean are just for dumb fun. And it's... Plus some of them I do frequently. But I am going to do is custom card reviews. Okay? So yeah. And I'm also going to do the Yu-Gi-Oh! Memes too. So yeah. So let's begin. So, yeah. And if I say like he's gonna be a big brother to her. So just to warn you. And he's a immortal crocodile. That's what I call him. Or basically call him that. But he's a kind heart. He's not like the Killer Croc that's all like vicious or wants to kill everything type. So yeah. So let's begin with them getting born. And plus it's a mutation. So yeah. So the first child that they had was crocodile. Okay. And the crocodile was the first one, followed by his sister and his two, like his brother and his other sister. Yeah. And they were both born on the same day, but in different time zones. So, yeah. So, he, as a doctor, when he tells his wife that Are you cheating on me? No. As the doctor walks in and tells him, no, it's just a mutation quirk. Or it's a mutation that he has. It's no big deal. Plus, sometimes some animals or some things with this quirk has, or with this power, they can be a same thing. Like, he is the same species as a frog, so reptilian. As it's just the pathway that makes it, okay? So no big deal, okay? Alright. As yeah, so then the next, or like a time skip, they were all age of 4. Yeah, so he when they were going to school, some bullies were bullying his sister. As he walks up to them and uses his tail to swing and like hits them. As the principal knew that he said, "Get away from my little sister, or else it knows what good's for you." As yeah, he's a more intelligent. As yeah, his sister says, "Thanks, big brother. I know who you found out. No need." Guys like me need to watch over you. Okay? As yeah, she's all happy about that. Oh, sorry. And yeah, then time skip to 15, and they ready to do this, little sister. As they're like, heck yeah. As their parents are so proud of them of going to UA. As he did written part really fast, but for the robot part, he did awesome on it. Like, he actually went from like, he moves faster as like anyone. Like, he moves faster and faster. And like, yeah. But but at age of 4, he was diagnosed with a quirk. But there's one other thing. It's that side effect. When, sorry, I do that. Go back and forth. So, yeah, when he was at age of 4, they went to a quirk doctor, and with his brothers and sisters, and his father and mother, they told him, or when they did all of that, they, of course, he says, you might feel the side effects of your quirk. Turn you ravenous, like basically like a angry one. If that ever comes to true, as he looks at his little sister, I'll make sure that rest of were kept away from me if that time comes. Okay? As, yeah. So, there is no cure for it. As if that starts, she goes faster and faster. More he uses it, more accelerates. So he's went underground as he's like, no, as his sister can tell that it's flare up. As his sister runs back, because he actually took out a 0-pointer, and when he was in the sewers, as went down there, as he was ravenous, like basically as he knows that his sister's trying to go check on him. As he turns his head and tells her to run. As she's more worried about her own brother thing. I know it's a flare up, but just keep calm. As All Might was there, yeah. And when All Might was talking, how often does these happen? Well, when he got older, like after the quirk doctors used the or more uses of his quirk, the much more monstery he becomes. Like, basically, like... But he always stays true to his heart. As it, yeah, All Might says, that's becoming a real hero. Yeah, but it's my brother that's talking about. He is having, like, these really bad flare-ups. I do not... and it's a quirk that is infecting his, like, entire body. As... yeah. As when they were, walked up closer and closer, he slices at them. As each grabs his own head. As he's trying to, as his body's, like... and he's trying to, like, make him hold himself back. As his sister knows that he's trying his hardest to... But I forgot to mention, he actually figured out a cure to his monstrous appearance. He hasn't told anyone, but he remembers something in his room, because he's always out in the shop area, like apartment. As he starts running, and then, like, as he remembers something, as he goes and rambles from, as All Might and Young Girls is trying to, and Ever Pro Hero is trying to slow him down, as he's dodging their attacks, as he remembers his own apartment address. So he goes, breaks the door down, as he walks in, as he found the one thing that removes as he used one of his fingernails to pop the lid open, and he, like, drank a serum as that he designed, as it, like, as he's as it, like, he collapsed, as his body's, like, turning, and he's tossing and turning in pain, as his As it, and then he thought, or they thought he was dead. So they left his body. Or no, they put him in the cemetery. As his long fingernails, holes that like lizard has on his hands, like his lizard form, he can basically, he went from being like this to like turning into a monster, but now he like dead as his, but when he didn't die, he actually needed some rest as he woke up, as yeah, that yeah, he basically went with brown hair. Yeah, so just imagine him turning into like a monster, then drinks a serum that turns himself into that with like his own sister's hair color as he breaks out of it, as he's like, what just happened? Oh wait, I remember. As he crawls out of the grave, I remember he trying to lose control of, didn't lose control. That dumb luck. As he's like breathing, as he goes to UA under a different name so that no one can recognize him. Oh, you must be a new student that has come here. Yeah. Call me Crickle, please. As young girls, yeah. So yeah, I ran late. So yeah. So then he took that quirk test by himself again. So yeah, he got infinity point. So he ends up in class 1A with his sister. Yeah. But she doesn't recognize him. Of course, he does recognize her. As he's like happy that she's safe. As she's like thinking, or she asked him, "Why are you smiling?" I thought about a joke thing, but I know that your brother, Herm, whatever happened to him. Oh, my big brother, he died. He drank a serum or something. and he died. I kind of feel bad for him. Okay. So, yeah. He, let me, if some of you might be confused, why that he went from being getting turned into a monster and then turned into a human with like green hair. Well, the serum that he drank was actually a cure to people that have like half quirks. Or basically, aka giving them full control. Like basically a full quirk. Like if I created it and gave it to Denki, instead of like constantly getting shocked, he can control the entire electrical. But he was a monster that transformed it, like him to, yeah. But he still has the, like, it isolated his diseased self. Basically, his part of the lizard part. Like, basically gave him a full quirk. Because, yeah. So, then, Mina was like, huh. Yeah, so, I'm skipping the ball throw. Huh? And, yeah. He skips the ball throw and the quirk assessment test thing and the heroes versus villains. As during the heroes versus villains, or like the USJ one, he basically they got attacked by. Sorry, I can't have that image. So yeah, and the hunger was like, huh. As he like basically swam to the land, and Zuko or actually he swam to the boat, got on, as he says, huh, well, all the him as the one that's on the bottom of Dark Shadow, the no seat number 19. Yeah. He turns turns wrong home as he or not his father, his big brother's instincts come in and like send him flying up into the air as he says, anyone? As it reminds her of like her own brother that always protected her. As as he's trying not to, so he ends up like going, like he still has super strength, super speed, like what Killer Croc and the Dr. Lizard one has, or Lizard has. Yeah, so yeah, the basically yeah, it's just weird. Sorry. So yeah, he basically when his blood thing, like how painful it was, he, when all that blood from his grave created a like the, not the lizard version, but more of like, or actually scratch it. So yeah, he basically is, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that part. So at the sports festival, I'm skipping then, but yeah, but skipping the sports festival, the all the way to the camp park. But he does encounter Hero Killer Stain in, and yeah, let's say it didn't go well for Hero Killer Stain. As he yeah. So, but the serum that cured him from the getting, or turned him from the monster into him. Yeah, he basically he basically became a first person that actually got or he created the serum for the quirks to, or to not turn them into like explosive monsters, or like, yeah, it isolated the bad parts. So yeah, so then during the camp park, one of the pussycats asked him, or actually, Frog Girl goes to bed, but everyone else was basically playing Truth or Dare. So Yeah. So let's say Momo asked Crocky or Croaky, or yeah, the human of truth or dare. How about truth? Get a better know all of you better. Okay? Alright. What's one thing that you kept from most of us? Well, I know that you might not believe me, but my real name is I forget his name, but Mr. Croc. That's what I call him. Or Croco. So, yeah. So he basically says, I'm Croco. The remember Croco, the Frog Girl's brother? Oh yeah, the one that he died in that like accident thing. You really annoy me, aren't you? I couldn't. Or remember, he can't. He was infected by his own quirk. Like more he used it, he more monstrous he became. That's a like a if like half a quirk. And but remember he drank a serum, remember? Oh yeah. The serum of something. I forgot. Well, let me tell you something. Oh. And better not tell little sister or her or, but I am him, actually. I figured out a way. Wait, so you're raccoon? Or that alligator guy that, like, didn't, or he tried to, like, not kill everybody? The big alligator dude with that. Yes, I am him. But the serum allowed me, or that serum is actually one that I designed for myself to make sure that I don't lose control. So, as they're like, they are like shocked. Like, Mina couldn't believe that someone like him came back from the dead. Yeah. Yeah, and Pussycats, they couldn't believe that someone and was like, they were all like, couldn't believe it. As you look more human than that reptile self. You'll see, Momo, that serum allows me to basically have full control of my powers. Like, basically, my quirk was half a quirk. But if I let my serum part gave me a full quirk, and it evolutioned my quirk into a special power. So as grapefruit's like, or no, seat number 19 one that's underneath, he ends up saying, so no wonder why you punched me for touching wrong girl. Yeah, I was protecting my little sister from people like you. As his green hand, or his hand, or his fingernail points to, like, basically the size of his fingernail, like his pointy finger. Yeah. And when he points, I mean, don't do that to my little sister like that ever again. You got it? As he's so serious, as Croco, your hand. Huh. Yeah. As it turns back, how did you do that? Remember my serum when it gave me like a human appearance? Like basically, it allowed in me to keep most of my like animal like instincts. Basically like a, yeah. So his own, so during the camp part or raid arc, Croco got kidnapped, and like, welcome, the new recruit of Croco. I heard that the serum that you created could make a half a quarks more into full quarks, I heard. You're the original design. You're successful. As, yeah. As her girls, like, worried about him, but they were sure that not to tell her until. Okay? So, yeah. Then All Might, like, versus All for One. All Might was down, but not out. As All for One was gonna use his beam attack. Then, out of nowhere, dumb luck, he transformed into, or he actually runs in and tackles All for One, or like grabs All for One's arm that had the like cannon. So he grabs him by a wrist and tilts it all the way up. As when it fired, it like, yeah. As he ends up like, he ends up using his, like, he actually turned, or his hand into a biggest hand. Yeah. And he punched All for One. Hun. And, like, when he did, he reached in and he says, huh, you know what, and the fire Charizard does? Or so, yeah, the front Fire Toad does, as he realized that he gained the infinity powers, like infinite powers. So he basically used his fire power. Like, he literally, this is gonna be gross, but he grabs All for One's mouth, opens the jaws up, like, not his jaws, but All for One's jaws, and ew, poured lava down through the All for One's, yeah, and yeah, it was a special kind. So he used the blood, or like, he used his own lava, and it destroyed all the quirks that were stored in All for One, even his immortality quirk. Yeah, you think that's messed up. And then when he says, huh, could finish him off, as All for One screaming, "What did you do? No, no," as his skin decays and, like, turns to dust as it, like, falls. It's like those horror movies where the character turns to dust, or the Avengers. Yeah. Put you in a late grave, All for One. As he, like, yeah, as he lifts the building, or gets debris, he helps the pro heroes up. As, yeah, when the next day, when he goes to school, he got tackled by his own sister. As his own sister saw everything. Plus, yeah. Or actually, when she went home, as he was there, or no, the next morning, he was at his apartment thing. Like, they keep it as, like, yeah. So the next morning, he shows up. Ready? Yeah, let's go. As or but before we go, the rest of you, well, you know that then like I'm gonna listen to it. Remember your brother that like or big brother that you had that died? Yeah, the Croco. As they like, yeah, in good remembering, as only person that really remembers that Croco was the had a experiment going was her. Of course, she didn't tell anyone, but she ran in or not ran. So and she or he told her what before all that happened. Yeah, he told her that this serum will cure me from my like half of or the infected quirk that okay and so but I don't know the side effects to it, so yeah, please wait for part 2.